Welcome back, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are in good health, taking care of yourself and your family members, right, students? Students, don't forget to drink boiled water twice in a day, eat healthy food, take care of yourself, stay home, and stay safe, students. Okay, students, so let's start our today's session. Today, I would like to explain remaining important key elements of lesson number 3 of history. The name of the lesson is the Sultans of Delhi. In the previous session, what we learned, student? In the previous session, we learned about the establishment of Delhi Sultanate, in which we learned about the slave dynasty, right, student? In slave dynasty, we learned that Qutbuddin Aibak, he was the founder of slave dynasty. After Qutbuddin Aibak, Shamsuddin Iltutmish, he became the ruler. Then Razia Sultanate came on the throne. After Razia Sultanate, Nasruddin Muhammad, he became the ruler. And the last ruler of the slave dynasty, last powerful ruler of the slave dynasty was Ghiyasuddin Balban. After Ghiyasuddin Balban, there was no one powerful ruler. So this slave dynasty came to an end after the death of Ghiyasuddin Balban. In today's session, we are going to learn about the next dynasty, that is the Khalji dynasty. Yes, students, who was the founder of Khalji dynasty? Jalauddin Khalji. He was the founder of the Khalji dynasty. He usurped the throne by killing Balban's grandson. Usurped, it means take possession illegally. So he came on the throne by killing Balban's grandson. During his reign, the Mongols invaded in Jalauddin Khalji, he is the founder of Khalji dynasty. During his reign, the Mongols invaded in 1292. After some skirmishes, it means the irregular fights, the Mongols decided to withdraw without a fight. There seems to have been some sort of an agreement between the Mongols and his nephew, Jalauddin Khalji's nephew and son-in-law, Alauddin Khalji. Now, who was this Alauddin Khalji? He was the nephew and son-in-law of Jalauddin Khalji. There was a fight between the Mongols and the Alauddin Khalji, but there seems to have been some sort of an agreement between the Mongols and the Alauddin Khalji. So afterwards, Alauddin Khalji, he came to on throne and he became the ruler of the Khalji dynasty. Now about Alauddin Khalji, we will learn. Alauddin Khalji, he occupied the throne by murdering Jalauddin Khalji. Alauddin Khalji did not believe in Jalauddin's theory of benevolence. It means the kindness. He adhered to Balban's theory of administrating through evoking fear. Yes, when we learnt about the slave dynasty, we learnt about the Ghiyasuddin Balban's theory, right, student? What was Ghiyasuddin Balban's theory? According to this theory, the king was divine and he was the shadow of God on the earth. Hence must be obeyed. And Balban followed a policy of blood and iron and crush any rebellion with a heavy hand, right, students? Same policy was adhered by Alauddin Khalji. Alauddin Khalji is regarded as the greatest of the Delhi Sultanate monarchs. Alauddin Khalji unified the whole country and brought it under the control of a powerful central government. Again, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Malwa, modern day Maharashtra and the Deccan were brought under the control of Delhi. So here we understand that Alauddin Khalji, he expanded his kingdom and he brought it under the control of Delhi. The weight of armed forces also grew dramatically under Alauddin Khalji. The armed forces defended the territory against foreign invasion. It maintained the political unity and integrity of the country by severally dealing with those who were dared to rebel against the central government. So, means those who are dared to rebel against the central government, he was giving them strict punishment. He was handling them with integrity. He secularized the state policies and threw open the public services to the commoners irrespective of their religion. Alauddin, he was a great administrator. He initiated many reforms which made the empire military and financially sound. Realizing that he needed a large and continuous supply of wealth for his military campaigns, he undertook many reforms. So, about these reforms, we will learn one by one. First one, that is land revenue policy. To increase the revenue of the state, Alauddin took some strict measures. First and foremost, he confiscated. Confiscated, it means taken or seized with authority. So he confiscated all the rent-free land that was gifted to the nobles and noble priests, etc. So what he had done, he has taken control, he has taken the authority on the rent-free land which was gifted to the nobles and priests and added them to the state land. All land was probably excess and the revenue demand of the state was fixed. That is 1/3 of the product. So it was fixed revenue. Again, in fertile areas like the Ganga Yamuna Doab, the land revenue was fixed as high as half of the total product. The land revenue could be paid either in cash or kind. Again, officials were strictly forbidden. Forbidden, it means not allowed to charge extra revenue for the peasants. So here we understand Alauddin's land revenue policy. Next one, that is market regulation. In market regulation, about market regulation we will learn. Alauddin was a far-sighted monarch and he was well aware of the benefits of having fixed prices. Thus he put a check on the prices so that the soldiers could live within their income. Prices of essential commodities were subsidized and fixed. Separate markets were established under the supervision of market superintendents. There were separate markets for separate goods like food grains, slaves, horses, cattle, and imported goods. These markets were under constant surveillance and harsh punishments were meted to those who cheated. The weights and balances of the merchants were constantly checked. Alauddin maintained an efficient system of spices. Here we understand about the market regulation of Alauddin Khilji. Now the next one, that is reorganization of army. Alauddin Khilji, he made great efforts to reorganize and reform his forces. He was the first to introduce the concept of hulia. Now what is this hulia? It means a descriptive role of each soldier. Alauddin, he expanded the boundaries of the Delhi Sultanate to as far as Madurai. His empire nearly matched with the empire of Ashoka the Great. Though he forbade it means disallowed banquets, means the formal evening meal for many people. So he did not allow this banquet and parties of the nobles, yet he patronized, means appreciated the real talent. How we came to know about this? Because the famous Persian poet, his name is Amir Khusrau. He was there in the court of Alauddin Khilji. So here we learnt about Alauddin Khilji, and we learned that he initiated many reforms. He has taken he initiated many reforms which made the empire militarily and financially sound. He undertook these reforms such as land revenue policy, market regulation, reorganization of army. Now the next ruler after Alauddin Khilji is the Mubarak Khilji. A war of succession happened after the death of Alauddin Khilji. Alauddin Khilji, as we understand, he was one of the powerful ruler of the Khilji dynasty. After Alauddin Khilji, there was no one powerful ruler, and the war for the succession is started. So Malik Kafur, he was the Malik Naib. He was the vice regent. Regent, it means a person who appointed to administer a state because the monarch is absent. So in absence of the monarch, he became the ruler. Who became the ruler? Malik Kafur. And what he had done, he assumed all the power. However, the nobles overthrew him in a month's time. And after him, who became the ruler? Mubarak Khilji. He extended the throne. In order to gain popularity, he abolished all the agrarian and market control regulation of Alauddin. What he had done, Mubarak Khilji, he abolished, means he put an end all the market control regulation which Alauddin started, and he tried to maintain the position of Alauddin Khilji on Deccan and Gujarat by sending expedition there. But after him, his Malik, his name is Khusrau Khan. What he had done, Khusrau Khan put his master to death, and after Mubarak Khalji, Khusrau Khan, he became the ruler. However, yes, this Khusrau Khan, he became the ruler. He put his master to death, but however, he was challenged and overthrown by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Now, who was this Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq? He was the governor of Dipalpur in Punjab, and then he founded the Tughlaq dynasty. So in next session we will learn about the Tughlaq dynasty. In today's session, what we learned, student? In today's session we learned about the Khalji dynasty. Jalauddin Khalji, he was the founder of Khalji dynasty. After Jalauddin Khalji, Alauddin Khalji, he became the ruler, and he undertook many reforms like land revenue policy, market regulation, reorganization of army, and he had taken many efforts to reform this interior administration. After that, Mubarak Khalji, he became the ruler, and after Mubarak Khalji there was no one powerful ruler, so this dynasty came to an end. Today's session is all about it, students. I hope you all understand it very clearly. If you have any doubt related to this session, you can mail on the given mail ID. Student, don't forget to write comments in the comment box. Again, one more thing, I would like to give the assignment related to this topic, student. Please note it down. What you have to do, student, you have to write a concept map mentioning the slave dynasty and Khalji dynasty. Right, student? Please note it down. Today's session is all about it. I hope you all understand it very clearly. Thank you and have a nice day, students.